Let's talk about tuple unpacking in Python. So we have a 3-item tuple here. We can access each of the things in this tuple by indexing it. It would be nice if we could give names to the things in this tuple, like x, y, and z. Turns out we can do this in Python by saying x, y, z equals p. This is called tuple unpacking. We've just taken a 3-item tuple and unpacked it into 3 variables. So you can think of creating a tuple as packing values together, and unpacking a tuple is basically undoing that, unpacking those values into 3 separate variable names. And it turns out, if we try to unpack a 3-item tuple into just 2 variables, we'll get an error. Tuple unpacking describes the shape of the tuple you're unpacking. So the thing on the right-hand side of that equal sign has to have the same number of things in it as the number of variables that you're unpacking it into. Tuple unpacking is really handy for avoiding hard-coded indexes and instead giving descriptive names to each of the things inside a tuple. You'll most often see tuple unpacking used not with an equal sign, but instead in a for loop. So if we take a dictionary and we call the items method on that dictionary, we will get an iterable of 2-item tuples representing the key value pairs in that dictionary. Now, we know that we can unpack those 2 things in each of these tuples into 2 variables, say key and value, or thing and count. But it turns out that we don't actually need an equal sign to do tuple unpacking. Every iteration of a for loop actually does an assignment implicitly. The thing in between the for and the in a for loop is very similar to the thing on the left-hand side of an equal sign. So we can actually say for thing, count in things.items. We don't need that item variable we made before. We can do the tuple unpacking right inside the for loop itself, because anything you can put on the left-hand side of an equal sign, you can put in between the for and the in a for loop. And this is actually the most common place you'll see tuple unpacking used in Python, is right inside a for loop. Tuple unpacking is also called multiple assignment, and it's sometimes called iterable unpacking because you can actually use it with any iterable in Python, not just with tuples. You'll most often see tuple unpacking used when looping over an iterable of 2-item tuples, or maybe an iterable of 3-item tuples. But you can actually use tuple unpacking anywhere in your code where you'd like to give descriptive names to the things within a tuple. That's tuple unpacking in Python.